well as like how conversations get sensationalized over here on the internet. Toure, do you know who Saweetie is?
Of course I know who Saweetie is.
You like Saweetie's music?
She got a couple records.
She got some things. So I'm going to. She got a thing or two. But
watching the way that question processed in his head, it was like he about to answer another question. Like, do you like Saweetie?
I thought you were going directly to it, but it's fine. She got some
records.
Read this aloud. Saweetie's friend claims she used Jadon Sancho's, which Chelsea player, I fuck with him. Well, for luxury life, shocking escort allegations leave internet divided. People are over here. Yeah, so her friend supposedly, this is all alleged, all right? And we're talking about it because, like I said, about the idea of money being dry out here, right? And that's what people want to put on Saweetie and other artists. They're trying to say that she has a madam. A madam is a female pimp. She has a madam, and that madam was introducing her to different men of high stature for a fee. And she fell in love with this guy, this footballer in the UK that plays for the illustrious, amazing team Chelsea.
Stop it.
She fell in love with him, or they got in a little relationship, and she did not get any money, extract any money from him to pay her madam. That's basically what this woman is saying online, and she has a little bit of receipts. But then it's got sensationalized to Saweetie is a whole-on sex worker. Every picture, people are online saying that she's talking to what was the guy who made 40 Laws of Power?
Robert Greene.
That she's over there was a escort or sex worker for him, that she did it for Dubai princes and any man of high stature. She's just out here traveling the world. Or a Nigerian like rich businessman, like they were saying that she got sent over there. And I'm like, two things that happened. One, I feel like this is believable to people because people feel that rappers ain't got money right now. Like they feel like it's dry out here. And that's how I went from this global conversation to this. What do you think about this information, Toure, as you just hearing it right now?
I mean, I do remember the conversation around was Keisha Cole a sex worker? And I mean, we've been talking for a while about there is how like rappers are constantly trying to make you think that they are or were drug dealers. Yeah. There's a sex worker aspect to me in a Lil' Kim, a Foxy Brown, Meg Thee Stallion's aesthetic. Cardi B was on the pole. No disrespect, she was on the polls, right? In her, less so in her musical aesthetic, because she's more like sweet and cute. But like Meg is, so I see the aesthetic, right? Oh, like how many chicks are actually? I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to just like for a woman to be willing to do that. Wow,
It takes a lot for a woman. I'm like, if you're making, okay, let's say that you're earning $500,000 a year. What do you need? Huh? At least.
You're just bringing home 500.
You're bringing home 500 as a musician, celebrity person. I'm just putting that on her. Don't know what her money's like. Let's not even use her. I'm just saying like that. What money is making you be a sex worker for these people? Like, is it like, I'm like, yo, yeah, 20, this is 25,000? Like, I'm trying to understand where that clicks if you're making real, it's 10%, 1% money.
It's not a side gig. And I know in Hollywood and TV, sometimes they'll show it as a sort of side gig, and she has, her corporate job or whatever during the day, and then she's a sex worker at night. And if you get into that life, that's what you do. You're not doing. It's not one of the things that I do. Juggling my. It's. I don't know.
They say 7 streams of income is what's needed to be a millionaire these days. So I mean, hey, can I throw a little wrench in this? You know, I don't know too much about her situation or what the case may be, but I can tell you this. And Green, we've had conversations about this. I saw a trend happening when I saw rappers that went on live streams and platforms with streamers that I know they don't like them because you could just tell by how dry the conversation is. Are those like sex workers without the sex? Is that like clout workers?
Clout workers. There's a whole lot of clout workers. Yes, clout workers is influencers on IG.
So to that argument,
Mm.
I'm saying if you're looking for another stream of income and you willing to whore out your brand to somebody who has they have not earned the right to be in front of you. They're no Torre. They have no history in this. They have no experience in this. It's just a guy that makes a bunch of edgy jokes and has a lot of people there, and you're willing to go out there. What about when they get certain rappers dancing on TikTok? They got no business dancing. Those clout workers?
They some clout workers. First of all, I'm loving this clout workers term. Look at this. Look, real quick. Curtis just gave Touré a video idea. Clout workers video on Touré too next week.
Hey, I'm like, it's easy to gang up on her. I get that right now she's at odds with somebody who's worked with her, which is another reason why I know why a lot of folks have NDAs. Like, don't you go tell it none of my business and straining it and turning it into things that you want to because you mad. But like, if you look at a zoomed out point of view, are dudes doing the same thing? Yes, they're even worse because they're sitting there telling the person, I don't like you. I'm doing this for the money that you paid me to be on this stream. And I'm willing to put my brand there for it. I'll give you an hour.
Let's look at it like this. How many rappers do you think are also dealing drugs currently? Like, I go to studio and I'm part of a conspiracy on the block to move this fucking weight.
No, nobody.
Nobody?
0.02%. 0.02%.
Okay,
I don't got no answer about that.
Like a guy thinking I can juggle those two things, and a woman thinking I can juggle rhyming and getting paid to fuck.
First of all, like the idea of clout workers, sex workers, and all that's very ingrained. This concept that we're talking about is very ingrained within our modern society right now. If you think about someone on OnlyFans and what they're selling an experience in the boyfriend, girlfriend, or the girlfriend relationship, boyfriend, whatever, to their fan base or audience. And then you have the streaming community, which is kind of doing the exact same thing. They're selling, hi, I'm your friend and this is my lifestyle. I'm like your fun, goofy best friend, or I'm this minstrel show that you could tap into at any time.
Pay to hang out with me.
Type of vibe. I think everyone is doing that to an extent, and then it's about who you are. So if everyone's hanging out with each other, it's about who you are and what your goal is at that point. Mm-hmm. Like if you have a mission and you have a piece of art that you want people to build a community around and hang out with, I have no issue with that. If you are over here talking about if it's just, I don't have an issue with sex workers either, but I'm saying like I feel like if you're lying about what you're really doing, that's the issue.
You don't. Do you think that somebody could be a known sex worker and a viable rapper?
Yes. I think anyone could be I think any profession could be a viable rapper in this modern day age.
I don't think so. I think that I think most people would look down on that and not be able to be like, her records are hot. They'd be like, she's a hoe. And I think that someone like Saweetie, who clearly is thinking about image, would be aware of that. And this story with the London soccer player is kind of funky, although it seems that she told him not to pay her, which
that's all allegedly. I feel like the reality of the story doesn't matter. I think the discussion of what you're saying about the brand matching the reality is what we're talking about.
Why do we even think it's a believable thing? Why do we even think that I'm not saying to challenge it. I'm just saying like that's the state we're at. Whereas as folks who have been in this for as many years, as folks who consume music, we're looking at this and saying, it doesn't sound too far-fetched for some of the rappers out here. Maybe not necessarily Saweetie, but it doesn't sound, because I've seen rappers do far worse for far less.
Like what?
I mean, I'm just bringing an example of the streaming situations of kicking with people that you know that they politics are completely on the other side at your detriment. They say crazy things about people that look like you, have been on record. Like when I see things with the guy Neon, I cannot believe that they have squeezed out a second life for him after all the racist things he said. I was young. You're still young.
Well, yo, 2 years ago.
Like, what do you mean you're saying like you're 34? Like, damn, you're still young. And you're being met with even more vitriol because you have a bigger platform and more people are seeing you. So when I saw him go on Breakfast Club and he's like, these people are so mean to me. Who are these people? And have you really grown in your maturity? So I'm looking at that and I'm like, why would any black man, black woman go sit down with Neon unless that was purely transactional, unless that was that kind
clout
of
working.
They clout working.
The Neon interview on the Breakfast was hella work because they made the date, had a nigga come up to the studio, spend his time to be up there early in the morning. I don't think he lives in New York, so he probably had to fly in right the night before. And they know as soon as he sits down, we're gonna start verbally punching him in the face. Everybody just keep telling him, you ain't shit, you ain't shit, you ain't shit until he walks out. Like, we're gonna make a moment on this motherfucker's head. So we just brought you in to clown you, and we beat you up, and you couldn't even do anything. You couldn't even say anything. You had no retort for what was coming at you. That's wild.
Well, then your reaction told it all. And no matter how much maturity he thinks he's had over the last 2 years, his reaction was, look at what those people said to me. Like, they ganged up on me. That wasn't cool. It made me sad. So now they're the bullies for bringing up what you actually did on camera and what you said, and your response to this. So I'm saying when rappers will stoop that low to look past that kind of stuff, when they don't have to go sit down with them, like there's no reason you have to, unless you have to.
I absolutely hate. Let's talk about that in this clout work. I hate clout work in the sense of that so much because it's like, you bitch ass nigga. Build your own platform. You lazy fuck. You can't get people to watch you, but this geeky ass Neon nigga could spend this much time and get people to watch you. Build your own streaming platform. I fuck with DDG for that, even though he was a YouTuber first. He quit YouTube, started rapping only, made a viable music career, saw that what's happening now is streaming, and pivoted his whole shit to streaming. And he had to build that over because this nigga is building this shit over again. And anyone who could rebuild themselves, freaking Shannon Sharp's even the same way. You can rebuild it. Build it yourself. Stop being fucking lazy. Yes, I know you don't like his interviewing and all that, but he built some shit.
No.
He's
all right.
He built from football to a career. I'm not sure that career is still viable.
All right.
Would you say you don't think his career is viable?
Yeah, currently, after the last time that he flamed out with his, what did he almost raped a chick or whatever the fuck? Like all that.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like his videos are still going, but okay, if he got canceled or something like that, I don't know. I don't even watch the shit like that. I only seen the
you just saying he's an example of somebody who's built a platform.
Joe Button has built platforms over and over again. So
but to go, I know what your bigger point in that is, but the rapper's gonna say, but he had to quit rapping in order to do that.
He didn't. He quit rapping later on, and that's his own choice. Because that's not where his desires and his passions were, but he was still rapping and battling Drake when he had the podcast, when he was building the actual audience. People like to forget the actual work he put in and not realize that he did Everyday Struggle. That's when he stopped really rapping, and Everyday Struggle got him more views to his Joe Button podcast. It made me start listening to the Joe Button podcast consistently, and then I saw it grow from that to be something that's multi-million-dollar. He's done it over and over again. I seen this nigga, because my boy was a big Joe Button fan. I seen him go from label hit to cold as fuck to a whole mixtape core audience, right? Take that audience to online, doing Ustreams and shit like that. And that was streaming before other niggas was streaming. Then go to podcasting and broadcasting while rapping, go to a group, still doing his podcast, battle Drake while doing a podcast, said a bunch of shit that Kendrick and Pusha T said before they said this shit, and then quit because nigga, I'd feel the same way. I'd be like, nigga, I did that shit. I did everything artistically I wanted to do. I was in a group. I battled niggas that I don't think is hip hop. I did all the shit. Joe Budden deserves to be where he is, and anyone else is lazy as fuck. I think
that's what you attributed to. And mind you, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm just giving the point of view of somebody.
Hell yeah.
Well, I see my trajectory a little bit different because I've had these same conversations when I tell artists, I'm like, you have to build. Like there was a time and point where if you didn't have an email for a particular blog, you were not getting coverage on your music, and you had to hope through all the people who were sending music in for this blog, they saw yours and spelled your name right, or even shared your hyperlink. Now you're in a place where you don't have to necessarily rely upon those if you're building your own. And if you build your own platform, the people will come. You'll get opportunities. I've had more opportunities happen through interviews, through my platform than through my music at times. Right.
But in general, it's harder now, is it not, for a rapper to break through than when you had the music video era, which seemed much more open, even the blog era?
I disagree with that.
You disagree?
It's crazy to go from one saturated environment to complain about another saturated environment. It's like if you're talking about the saturation, excuse me, are you talking about, is it harder for them to break through into the content space or just
mainstream
in general?
The what are the avenues for somebody who is not known to get known? Like if I was a rapper, I made a song, what am I supposed to do? Try to get it on TikTok? Try to get it placed in a TV show or a movie?
Yeah.
Like
all these things. Let me say this as an artist who's rapping still now, and I still put out music, but I can say that I'm not a bigger artist because of complete no output, because of not work. The work to be that. If I focused all of that on the just the music, I'm doing a lot of different things. If I focus just on the music, that's what it's easier to get attention if you are actually focused on that. But it is harder to the idea of breaking through in the old way. To like break through meant that you are now a name in the mainstream. That's fucking the hardest thing in the world for a music artist today.
That's what
yes.
And that's
is
why
it harder to make money and have a fan base? Fuck no. You could be worth $1 million and nobody know who the fuck you are today. That's the difference.
That's why you got so many damn clout workers in 2025, because this is what they have to resort to. They don't want to build their own platform. They have to go find people who already have a platform. And even then, they want to try to change the politics of how that works. Some of them want to change the politics of how that works. Well, I'll only come if I can, yada, yada. This is not your platform to do that. Thank God I haven't had to deal with that. But I've heard other platforms who were like, they'll try to strong arm them for their platform that they built. And that's the thing that they need. And I think what's happening is that now a lot of these content creators are saying, I think I can rap. So then what am I bringing you on as a guest for now? You don't have a larger audience than I have as a streamer. I generate more coverage because people are looking at this and not like, oh my God, my favorite streamer is rapping. It gets more coverage. So now they're getting pushed further and further out the pocket. I'm thinking from a rapper point of view, the more difficult thing is, where do I go where I am welcome? And I say this with empathy because I rap my damn self. You can't go to a Spotify because Spotify look like they want to get rid of you based upon them detecting fictional streams or botted streams in your music, and they're getting rid of your albums by the dozens.
Let me talk to the people real quick.
Where do you go?
If you tired of these streamers dancing all in the video, come on over to Rap Latte where we respect rappers. $1 million in the bank.